Hi everyone, my name is Matt. I'm the youth family pastor at Cornerstone Church in Marshfield, and I'm here today with your Cornerstone Connection, a daily devotional. Well, friends, if you've been walking with Christ for a while, this won't surprise you, especially if you've been part of the church for a while. This won't surprise you, but one of the things that can be the most difficult to talk about, maybe as a new believer, new follower of Christ, it can be one of the most difficult things to learn and to just kind of get in the habit of doing. It's why it really starts as a discipline. It's this idea of giving and giving back to God and trusting Him with the resources that He's already given us. It can be really hard to be disciplined to do that and to get that started. Well, today in 2 Corinthians chapter 8, the Apostle Paul, of course, is talking to the Corinthian church, and he wants to teach them about giving and giving financially, specifically. You see, they're a group of people that has been spiritually gifted in many ways by God. And he recognizes that and he notices that. But it seems a part of their spiritual walk that they lack in is their willingness to be generous financially towards the ministry so that the ministry of Christ can expand. And so Paul gives them a little course here at the beginning of 2 Corinthians chapter 8 that I'll call today Generosity 101. And what he's going to do is he's going to use an example of some of the churches that were in the north, in the region of Macedonia. And he is going to use them as an example to help motivate and to help inspire the church of Corinth in their financial stewardship, in their financial giving. Let's see how he does it. 2 Corinthians chapter 8, starting verse 1. Paul writes, "And now, brothers, we want you to know about the grace that God has given the Macedonian churches. Out of the most severe trial, their overflowing joy and their extreme poverty welled up in rich generosity." Think about that math. Overflowing joy plus extreme poverty resulted in rich generosity. Verse 3, "For I testify that they gave as much as they were able," but he doesn't stop there, "and even beyond their ability. Entirely on their own, they urgently pleaded with us for the privilege of sharing in this service to the saints. And they did not do as we expected, but they gave themselves first to the Lord and then to us in keeping with God's will." We'll stop there today at the end of verse 5. So friends, it's important for us to note a couple of things. Again, Paul is trying to teach the people of Corinth that generosity is a norm for followers of Jesus. And he uses this example of the churches of Macedonia, churches that were going through extreme trial, that they were going through tribulation, things that were difficult, persecution perhaps. And their circumstances were not good. They were really, really difficult. And yet he says they took these difficult circumstances and they matched them with the joy that only comes from God. And they combined those two things. And he said the result of that was them desiring to be generous. And he said they only had so much. And they decided that they were going to give even beyond their ability. So if they had this much, they were going to do their best to try to give above that. And the reason for that is because of the joy of Jesus, that no matter what their circumstances were, no matter how much money they had coming in or how much trial they were going through, the joy of Jesus was so great that he compelled their hearts to give beyond what they knew in their minds that they could give. You see, they were trusting God to give and not themselves. And that's why Paul says, how you do this is you got to do it just like they did it. You got to give yourself first to the Lord. Don't look at the pocketbook. Don't look at the budget first. Don't trust the numbers first. He said they gave themselves first to the Lord, and then they trusted in God to provide the direction. They trusted in God's will and His desire and what He would say for them to share. And in fact, Paul says they were so compelled by God that they were asking us that they would be able to give to us. This is generosity at its finest. It's a heart that is not set on this earth. There's a heart that's not set on our belongings. It's a heart that's not set on our possessions and that which we have coming in. It's a heart that doesn't have clenched fists, but it has open hands, and it's saying, God, what I have is yours. You've given it to me. And you've given me abundantly more than I deserve. And so, God, what you have given me, I ask you to direct in my giving, that you would allow me to give in a way that is accordance with your will, accordance with your desire. And so, friends, in this example, Paul gives us and the Corinthian church a beautiful lesson in generosity 101. Hey, he says, give yourselves first to the Lord and allow what he gives you, that joy in Jesus, to overwhelm any and all circumstances that you have going on in life. And trust him with your resources. Whatever he says to give, give. And Paul will say in another place in his writings, what God wants more than anything is a cheerful giver. So give cheerfully. Friends, have a great day. We'll see you next time on the Cornerstone Connection.